Gender where's that bill?
Right when we fade down.
Welcome to another episode of Into the West Comics. My name is Frank. Sonny is not here, but Donovan is.
Look at me. I'm on the nice camera. I'm on that beautiful Sony camera, not the Canon.
It makes your lips sparkle.
Oh,
That's the camera that makes your
Ooh.
lips all sparkly.
that's why Sonny has lip balm before he comes on.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
Sonny puts on
He knows.
a pound of lip balm.
He
Paul
understands.
says it's lip gloss, but okay.
Sonny understands what it means to bring eyes to this audience, and so does Paul.
Yeah.
You and I are more informational. We're like the engine that keeps the car running.
Wait.
These two are like the great paint coat outside with the nice
What-
vinyl seats. They're the eye candy. Paul and Sonny are the eye candy.
I don't know if I like what that says about me.
Are you saying that if there's a train, like we're like the cargo
Yeah.
part of the train?
We're the caboose.
The part that matters.
You're the
I am the caboose. This is very true. I am the caboose.
Oh my goodness.
The caboose is loose.
Paul is also here.
Paul!
Sonny is on assignment in Mexico. Not an assignment. He's in a bachelor
Yeah, I was gonna say
weekend.
assignment.
He's
It's an
assigned
assignment of sorts.
He's been assigned to
Have fun.
to have fun in Mexico. It's the first time he's missed in a year.
Wow.
He's been here. He's been here every Thursday. And
He's the man. I
yeah.
feel like I'm being attacked.
Not at all.
Okay, good.
Not at
Because
all.
I've missed a few.
Why do you feel like you're being attacked?
Oh man.
Oh, man.
I thought I was gonna miss it tonight.
You're
It's running
here,
late.
though.
Yeah,
You made
running
it, and
late.
we
Yeah.
are so happy. I'm so happy. We have amazing things to talk about today.
Guys.
This is great.
You guys didn't see it, but we watched the Sonny and I watched the Venom Let There Be Carnage trailer that premiered yesterday, and a new trailer. It comes out next month, I think, is when the movie actually drops.
Wow.
I'm not really sure about the timing of the film, or the trailer with the film, or whatever, but we're gonna watch this trailer in another couple minutes or a second or two.
Paul and I have not seen
You
this
guys
trailer.
haven't seen it.
We
Nope.
wanted to save it for the show.
Yeah.
Paul, what are your expectations of this movie?
I don't really have any. I think it's going to be crazy nonsense fun, and that's what the first one was, and that's what I'm excited to see in this one.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. My
every
expectations are going to be high, and they're going to be broadened over the next, whatever,
Yeah,
a certain amount.
Not every movie has to be like a tour de force, Like
No.
it doesn't have to be like, not everything always has to make sense and doesn't have to be like the most succinct or whatever.
Like Snake Eyes.
I have not seen it, so I can't.
Hey,
Yeah,
I'll tell you
well-
right now. Save your money.
It's not what I expected.
Not good.
Not what I expected.
Not
it to say
good.
at all.
You saw it, right?
You liked it? It was entertaining. Okay. Quan says it's entertaining.
That's
I'll
fair.
agree with that. There are some entertaining moments, but I felt like it was more of an origin for Shadow than it was for Snake Eyes.
Oh, Storm Shadow.
Yeah. Anyway, I digress. I'm ready to watch this trailer.
Digressions.
Okay, let's check out Let There Be Carnage.
Let there be carnage. Lots of carnage.
All I ever wanted in this world was carnage.
Lady here. We should be out there snacking on bad guys. I am a predator. I need to be free.
You have got to get control of your aggression. Or you will get hauled off into Area 51. You live in my body. You live by my rules.
I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. Please let me fix it so I can play it again. You are a loser.
Eddie Brock, I want to give you my story. People love serial killers.
Please, why me?
What's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine. I have tasted blood before, and that is not it. All I ever wanted in this world is Carnage.
What the heck? Oh my god!
I'm not a crazy man.
Is he vaping?
Real vengeful one.
Oh, what a shot. That's cool.
Oh, shit.
Indeed.
Where you going?
That is a red one.
You need to come out right now. I will let you eat everybody.
Promise.
I promise.
Oh, yeah.
Betty, you feel like home to me. Like family.
Oh, wow.
You could just say, I'm happy for you.
That was going to be us.
I am happy for you.
No.
I'm so sorry.
Not sorry.
This two needs some serious couples
He
counseling.
smacked the hell out of him.
Wow. Okay.
I was.
Oh my gosh, so many thoughts going through my head. I'll say this: as I'm still reading King in Black, I've learned to really love,
Carnage.
yeah, no, Venom. I've learned to really love the character Venom in a different light. That was really cool. That just looked like fun. It looked like
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
Carnage looked super cool, and
Yeah.
he looks like a ton of fun, and he looks like he's gonna be pretty comic accurate, which is nice. And a lot of the I saw some like side by side pictures with comics from the stills from that trailer,
Mhm.
but I hadn't seen the whole trailer. And seeing it in action, it looks even cooler. And
The CGI that they did for Carnage, and it even looks like they improved on what they had done with the CGI animation for Venom. Actually,
Oh yeah,
I mean-
it does look better.
it looks more detailed. There's more depth. And the Carnage looks crazy. You saw the special effect of his eyes rolling around like that, and then
Yeah.
how his whole head kind of, I don't know,
That was insane.
It looked cool. I mean, I don't know what the timing is with the movie coming out next month. I mean, I figured that, I know that they're trying to create more hype. You think that is Sony nervous about the movie kind of getting lost in the shuffle? You think about as far as everything that's been coming out that's MCU related, this technically isn't an MCU film.
I think if they're gonna make a move,
Mhm.
they're right in line because it'll come out before Shang-Chi.
Mhm.
And if they have something that deals with the Marvel universe some way with the multiverse or something like that, I think this is their opportunity to strike. I think they give us a really good story in Carnage. They let us know what else to go. Who else is the villain in there? I noticed there was it Black Canary or because it looked like that girl was screaming and I thought, could that be
Oh, it
Black?
might be. She's another symbiote. I think it's
I think her name is Scream.
Scream.
Ah,
her
okay,
name is
cool.
Scream.
I thought maybe it was Black Canary just because she was yelling and
Black
noise.
Canary
Oh,
is
that's DC.
DC.
Oh, that's true. God, who am I thinking of?
Uh,
In the Spider-Man world.
Black Cat.
Black Cat.
Yeah,
I don't know why I
I
was
don't
thinking Black Canary.
That's all right.
Anyway,
That's
I
a
do
good one.
think that I think if Sony's gonna make their move, this is now the right move, and we get a good post credits trailer that lets us go like, oh yeah, we're gonna connect this stuff somehow. We're gonna bring the Spider-Verse into this, and maybe it shows at the end of it like Brock has had enough of San Francisco and he moves back to New York, and like we see Brock going into New York, and then all of a sudden we see him look up at the lamppost, and there's a big spider web in there.
Yeah.
And then we hear Venom say something like, "No, that looks like fun."
Mm-hmm.
Maybe something like that. If we get something like that, like, oh my gosh, I would totally be geeked out, right? That'd be a lot of fun. Like,
That would be cool.
I think one of the main things that Sony and Andy Serkis needed to get right for this, which, by the way, Andy Serkis directing, that's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
now, did he do the first one or no?
No.
No. So this is gonna feel a lot different, I
Yeah.
think.
And but one of the big things they needed to nail in the first trailer, or in this trailer, the first time they show Carnage, is how cool Carnage looks and make him look fun and fun. But you know what I mean, like cool,
Sure.
interesting, threatening, terrifying, and they did that. And I think a lot of people and the response online has been pretty strong because of how interesting Carnage was in this trailer. It made a lot of hardcore fans happy. They saw it and were like, "This looks like what I love." And also, people who are kind of tangentially interested went, "That looks sick. I know that this isn't like the MCU, or it may not be, but this looks super cool because Carnage looks so cool. He looks so interesting. He is clearly distinguished from Venom, and he's not just he's different enough to where you're not like, oh, it's just another Venom." And he looks
Right.
like he's all gangly and not all one all the time like Venom is usually. And that's how he is in the comics. He's very goopy, I guess is the word. And they pull that off really well. And you look at side by side drawings with him, and it looks super. It they nailed it.
Yeah.
And that's what I think the most important thing for this trailer was for them to nail Carnage. And what I don't want Sony to do. Sorry, I had to swallow. Too much saliva.
You were goopy.
Yeah, I was goopy. But
That's what she said.
Brilliant.
The thing I don't want them to do, which Sony movies do a lot of the times, is put way too many clips out of the movie and lead up. Don't do that. You have put out a really, really good
I agree.
starting point and got people interested. Don't put out too much to where maybe you put out a scene that kind of some people aren't down with in the best way, and they go, that turned me off from it. Just stay the course.
I
This
agree.
trailer was pretty good. Maybe throw out another teaser with maybe one extra shot of Carnage in it, and then just let it ride.
I'm good.
People
I'm
are
good with
excited
it
for
just being this.
Yeah.
Like if you show nothing else as far as this is concerned, cool. I'm still interested. I'm still hooked. I'm with you. The first Venom movie got a lot of press, and you saw it in every TV spot. You saw maybe 3 trailers from it.
That's what I was going to say, is that it seemed like it was a lot more visible.
They really wanted that. You could tell they spent a lot of money in marketing to try and get this thing out there so that people know, hey, come on, go see Venom. You don't have to go see an MCU movie. An MCU movie. Come see something that's not an MCU movie. I did like this trailer. I love the choice in music. The one is the loneliest number.
Yeah, it goes with
I thought that was really
Yep.
really clever. Do we see Mobius at all in this?
I mean, Morbius?
Oh, Morbius. Yes, excuse me. I'm batting
No, you're
1,000
good.
today in my comic book
We
characters.
got you.
Into the West Comics, where one of the hosts doesn't know what the heck he's talking about.
It's the heat.
Yeah.
No, it's all a ploy to make it seem like we know more what we're talking about. But no, I think it possibly. I hesitate to want them to do that because a lot of times, again, Sony is known for
It was going to come out
shoehorning
already,
stuff.
right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was supposed to have already.
I
been
only
out.
asked because there seemed like there were little tiny hints of religious undertones, them fighting in a church, and I thought
Yeah.
there's some gothic looking things. I thought maybe if Morbius shows up somehow that we see it, but I think
could be
you
one of the
never know.
post-credit scenes.
Yeah, it could be one of the post
I
credit
think that would
scenes
be a
or
safe
the only.
way.
Yeah, and that's their next big slated project, right? As far as
Sony.
yeah.
Yeah, well, No Way Home is still technically Sony as well, but yeah,
Right.
Sony and Morbius. And but what we haven't really talked about is one of the things from the first one in the post credits with Woody Harrelson. I was like, Woody Harrelson is playing this kind of weird, but in this trailer, he sold me.
Yeah.
he sold me much better than he wasn't as over the top as he was or seemed like he was gonna be in the first Venom movie, and he was super wacky, and he was like, wow.
He looked like Sideshow Bob from Simpsons.
Yeah,
with
and
the
that's what it
hair.
was.
Yes.
But now he was much more menacing. That's the word. He was
Sure.
much more menacing in this trailer than he came across as in the first movie.
And that's what you get with a great director like Andy Serkis.
Mm-hmm.
You get a guy who goes hey, dial it back a little bit, try this, do this, let's do this. I
Mm-hmm.
want your choices, but let's not go crazy. It's much easier to take an actor and go dial it back than to say, hey, dial it up. So
I was talking to, you remember our lightsaber conversation when we had a show back in Halloween time when I was a pizza and you were George Lucas.
Yes.
Jesse, I spoke with him a little bit yesterday. We're kind of texting back and forth after the trailer, and it's kind of like a question I wanted to pose to you guys: is the approach that they're making, are you guys okay with the approach they're making of introducing Eddie Brock / Venom and now Carnage without there being any Spider-Man in the movies?
I mean,
Are you guys okay with that?
I'm over it. Like, as in, like,
Because we've got enough Spider-Man at this point to where we don't need it.
yeah, because, like, one of the, I think we talked about this when we were talking about King in Black a while ago.
Yeah.
But, and King in Black has done a good job of, like, making this delineation. Venom isn't the Joker. And what I mean by that is
Mhm.
the comic books have brought Venom to a place where he can exist and be without Spider-Man.
Yep.
And he can be just as interesting. And although when the first Venom came out, I was like, dang, this kind of like makes like we miss out on the origins of Eddie Brock in a way that we didn't get. But maybe even like with the multiverse of madness and all the craziness going on, he gets sucked in and then he starts to hate Peter for like a slightly different reason than he did in the comics, and we get it anyways. But what I mean by he's not the Joker, for me, the Joker loses 99% of his interestingness when he's not involved with the Batman, because
Yeah.
he is the ultimate counterpart to Batman. And there was a certain point in time where I feel like you could have said the same thing for Venom, but that character has very much been made into his own, and I think he stands on his own in a way that the Joker doesn't. And I'm sure someone would get mad at me for that and be like, "Yeah, he does."
agree.
So my point being, I don't need Spider-Man to have Venom in the way that I feel like I need Batman to have Joker.
Well, we think about Spider-Man and we think about Venom because that's what we're talking about. The movie did a good job at explaining its own origin. It's a symbiotic thing that comes from space.
Right.
It's harvested, it's grown, and somehow it gets onto Eddie Brock and he becomes Venom.
Yeah, and
What
who's
more
to
do you
say
want?
when
Yes, okay, yeah, we got a black suit Spider-Man and it gets on the black and that's how he... Yeah, okay, great. But like comic books, there's other ways to introduce a character. It doesn't have to be so rigid and like, nope, like this. Yes. I mean, perfect example is Flashpoint. Like Bruce's parents don't die. It's
Yep.
Bruce that dies.
Mhm.
Huh, interesting. Well, what happens? Like that to me is interesting that we can go that route too. So when it comes to storytelling like this, I'm okay with it. They've already knocked out the basics as far as
Yeah.
a symbiotic thing was in space. It came down to Earth. We did something to it. It made people go bad, and it brings out the worst in people. I mean, what more could you ask for?
And we're going with multiversal situations in the MCU going forward.
Yep.
There's no real template for you to have to back up and explain a bunch of
No.
stuff going forward with regards to Sony. You don't really need to.
No. And that's kind of what I was just thinking about. We can, when we eventually, hopefully, get Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock in the MCU, you know what they don't have to do in the first Venom versus Spider-Man movie or whatever? They don't have to explain who Eddie Brock is. They
That's
can
true.
just focus on the relationship
good
between
point.
Peter Parker and Eddie Brock. We don't have to get bogged down with seeing where he came from, what he
Right.
did before, because we've seen it. And we can focus in on what the movie needs to focus in on instead of having the backstory for all these characters.
One of the things that I thought was super interesting about this trailer is that one of the first lines that Venom says is like, "When are we going to eat bad guys?" I thought that
Yeah.
was really interesting. I'm like, bad guys. So then I started thinking in my
I
head,
didn't
like,
even catch that.
how do we use a line like that? That to me is not a throwaway line. Get me to specific. He says bad guys, not guys, because Venom is guys, like whoever, I'll eat whatever, whenever.
Yeah.
But he says bad guys. So I'm wondering if maybe down the road he does move to New York and he is trying to eat bad guys, but Spider-Man is catching him and he is more of the hero than Venom is. And then there's sort of this resentment that Venom and Eddie have towards Spider-Man, which creates the rift between the two, and then we get the Spider-Man versus Venom. So
To where
a
at least there's a
possible
battle in within the film.
exactly.
or
So it's like, well,
whatever.
if he's going to take the glory, I'm just going to start eating everybody.
We kind of have like it's easy to spitball ideas for how we can make Eddie Brock and Peter Parker hate each other. And in the comics, obviously Peter gets the black suit first.
Right.
And the reason they like don't get along and hate each other or whatever is because Peter gets the job at what's it called?
Daily
Daily
Bugle.
Bugle.
The Daily Bugle, and I almost said the Daily Planet. The Daily Bugle instead of
That would have been me.
Yeah,
Who said that. Yeah.
But that's why they hate each other in the comics. But you could do it. The timelines or realities converge. Because of this, for whatever reason, Eddie Brock loses the symbiote, and then Spider-Man gets it. But Eddie Brock doesn't know that at first, and he sees Spider-Man on TV with the symbiote, and that's where he starts to generate that hate for Spider-Man from. And you can, because the important thing about that relationship is the animosity between them.
Yes.
Not
Absolutely.
necessarily the reasoning why. So if you can set that up in a way where Eddie Brock is upset with Peter because he feels like he stole something from him, same. You stole my job at the Daily Bugle. You stole my Venom. Same thing. You get us to the same place.
You're making Eddie's character. You're making Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock's character an underdog in a sense. You've been making him the underdog to where he's trying to live up to this role, and it kind of switches their places in a way. You're going to see Tom Holland's Spider-Man go through a lot.
Yeah.
When we see this No Way Home film, and that might be a perfect time within the next 6 months or a year's time to have them in a movie together. Maybe it's Venom 3, maybe it's a Sony project, maybe it's a Sinister Six film.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I think what's great about a character like Venom is that when we see him, we love to root for him, but we also have an expectation of we're going to be disappointed in the choices he makes.
I wasn't a huge fan of the original Venom. I liked it, but I mean, I didn't watch Venom multiple times.
See, and I grew up with the Venom from the animated Spider-Man show.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one that I was like hooked on. That's what got me like onto Spider-Man and Venom and all that stuff. So
I like Tom Hardy. I think he's a good actor.
He was the highlight of that movie. He really killed it, and he made me enjoy that movie. And that's one of like
she was good too.
Michelle Williams.
Yeah,
she
she's
was
great.
good. She was good too.
But Venom is one of those movies, and I'll kind of a topic we're gonna get to in a minute. It's kind of like I liked it more than the movie I'm about to mention, but I still don't hate the movie I'm about the 2016 Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
That movie, it's edited very poorly, and there's a myriad of reasons why that happened.
Yeah.
Lots of reasons.
But
Thank you, Warner Brothers.
I don't hate that movie. I think it's fine. I think it's fun. I think it is not the most exciting thing ever and doesn't make the most sense ever. And I think you could say the same for Venom, but it has its moments like the big final scene and Venom with like just Venom being Venom in that movie. They nail that. Although maybe the story isn't the most interesting and the most compelling, Venom being Venom is fun, and that's what I mean. I feel like that's what a lot of the times that's what we go to the movie for. If we go to see a movie and it's not the greatest, but they nail the character that we love, we're much more forgiving of it. And I think maybe I could even equate that to the Snyderverse. I feel like Superman is more Superman in Man of Steel than he is in the other movies, and that's why, as far as the Snyder movies, I enjoy Man of Steel more, even though it's probably on par with like Batman versus Superman and Zack Snyder's Justice League.
I love Man of Steel. It's the best Superman movie I've ever seen.
I don't disagree. I think with the
like
original
Superman
78
too.
or whatever. But I think because they nailed that character for me in a way that they didn't in subsequent films, I like Man of Steel better, even though it's kind of the same quality of film. So
we have Grant Morrison to thank for what we expect to see in Superman
yeah,
movies.
I know.
Really,
It's really not fair.
Absolutely. And I mean, what's he doing now? Superman and the Authority?
Superman and the Authority.
Yeah. Paul had mentioned the Suicide Squad. We're going to talk about our expectations for Suicide Squad. We're going to go see Suicide Squad later tonight.
We are.
Some of us are going to go see Suicide Squad later tonight. And what are some expectations? We're just going to go over this real quick. What are some expectations for this movie? I mean, we've heard really good things.
So far, it's
come to expect.
It's
from it?
got great reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, which means nothing to some, but to me, it actually does. It's a nice barometer to go and do with expectations.
It's nice to see people like things.
Yes,
Sure.
it really does.
Yeah.
Especially,
it's nice to see them like a DC film.
oh, you took the words right out of my mouth. Especially when it's a DC movie. I was reading an article with Viola Davis, and she said that, and I don't know the exact quote, but so I'm paraphrasing, but she said that having James Gunn as a director, the whole cast felt safe in his hands, which I think is so important for, especially an ensemble piece like Suicide Squad, Guardians, Avengers, Civil War, these big team up movies. You got to make sure that everyone's personalities are in check. Everyone is playing on equal par, and their job as an actor and as a performer is to make the other people on
Yep.
screen
People get
look
their
good.
service. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And I think if there's anyone that I would trust in any of these comic book movies as far as team ups, it's James Gunn.
Yeah.
James Gunn is prolific for making sure that his cast is really taken care of. You got a lot of directors who like to work on style and the way movies look, and they don't take care of the cast, and then vice versa. And then you got guys like James Gunn, the Russo brothers, some other people who really understand what it means to have substance and also style at the same time. So I'm really, really excited for this. I didn't realize till last week that Killer Shark is voiced by Sly Stallone.
Yeah.
And I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I
oh
love
my
that.
gosh,
Pretty
that's
cool.
so perfect. And then John Cena looks hilarious
seen the,
in this
doing
movie.
doing all of his promotion
Yeah,
for the
I was
movie
about to say
in
that.
full costume.
And he but he's been posting pictures in lead up, and he is he's in the scene, but he himself, like, you can't see him.
Right.
Like, you can see the costume, but not him. And it's just an empty costume of him. Dude, that's so funny.
Yeah,
that's
it's gonna be great.
That's fantastic.
I'm-
And it's
I'm
great
looking forward to
promotion
this.
for his TV show,
Yeah.
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker comes out next year.
Yeah.
He's already working on editing Peacemaker, and then James Gunn will be going on to work on Guardians.
Yeah.
He's already starting that. So
It's exciting. It's going to be. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think the standouts are of course going to be Margot Robbie as Harley, because she's so great every time she plays the role. Even the Emancipation of Harley Quinn, that Birds of Prey.
I like that movie. I think
It
that
was
movie's
okay.
fun.
She was
alright.
great. She was great. Like
Yeah.
when I think of Harley Quinn, I think of Tara Strong doing her voiceover work and all the years that she put into that character, making it who she was. And then I think Margot Robbie, because she nails the character. She gets it. She understands it. Yeah.
And I'm excited to see Bloodsport, Idris Elba, because I've heard nothing but fantastic things about him and his character in this movie. Excuse me. Sorry, I got my nose a little stuffy today. But I'm excited to see him, and his character and all his promotional stuff has been really exciting and fun. And I think we're gonna see some really, really cool action scenes, and I'm probably most excited for that.
I think we're going to see some gross stuff. The movie's rated R for a reason. There's going to be something
Yeah.
that's like over the top
A
violent.
lot of gore. And if you've ever watched a James Gunn rated R movie,
Yeah.
you're going to get a lot of gore and a lot of blood,
I've been
which is
predicting
exciting.
that Polka Dot Man, that scene in the trailer when he's saying I'm a superhero,
He dies.
I think he gets like stomped.
I
Probably
think when
like
we see-
Starro or something
I think
like that.
when we
he
see
gets
his
killed.
origin and he's throwing the polka dots at the guys in the office, I think we're going to see a lot of blood in that scene too.
Yeah.
So I think that one of the characters that have been very large in marketing, whether it be Javelin, Harley Quinn, Bloodsport, King Shark, Polka Dot Man, I think one of them is going to die very early on. I'm not sure who, but I think one of them dies very early on, and I'm interested to see who. And another good thing about this movie is, do you guys have any idea which character is going to die first?
Nope.
Not really. They got like
And one of the-
14 people in the
Yeah.
roster. So
Excuse me. One of the big problems for me with the first Suicide Squad, they play the trailer, you watch it, you go, Slipknot, he's in the trailer for like 2 seconds, and he's like ziplining up the thing, and you go, oh, that guy's going to die first because he's got the least play in any of these trailers
Yeah.
and any of the promotion. You go, that guy's going to be the guy that gets used as an example in the movie. You watch the movie, he's the guy that gets used as an example in the movie. I love that and that's not on the filmmakers, that's on like whoever put out the promotional material.
right.
But the promotion for this movie has done a really good job of just being like, I don't know. I have no idea who's going to die first.
They got 7 or 8 guys that could be contenders for people to die early
Yep.
on in the movie.
And I guarantee you, the ones that do die, it's going to be in some sort of comical way.
Yeah.
As morbid as that sounds, when we see someone die, it's going to be funny.
Jack said, shout out Jack. He said he said we are not ready.
That's exciting.
That is super exciting.
Jumping
yeah.
Jack.
I'm looking forward to it. Next week we'll be back together, hopefully on time, and we'll be reacting to Suicide Squad. Something else that's going to come out next week that we'll be able to get together and review. Something that we've been learning the last couple of weeks is going to be part of the MCU canon. It's going to be part of Phase 4. What If comes out. It starts next week. All signs are pointing to the first episode. We're going to be getting Captain Carter. It seems like it's going to be the first episode that we get. What are your guys' thoughts or opinions about them making an animated series part of the MCU canon, or part of the Phase 4 continuity that we're getting?
Go ahead, Paul.
I love it. I mean, why? I mean, the one thing about making things not canon is it makes it feel like it doesn't count, and I don't like that. I like things to count. And that's one of the big things that happens in the comic industry is things get like removed from continuity. And like I love Superman Birthright. That is not the that's not the origin for Superman anymore.
No.
It's the one from I think it's the one from New 52 still. I don't actually know. I apologize. But and I hate that that doesn't count anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. But I don't want to go and watch this and go, it doesn't really count. And it if it didn't count, so to speak, it opens the door for more things they can do and be like, oh, they can get away with more stuff. But I feel like they
Right.
can still do that because of the reality altering stuff and the timelines and things. They could do whatever they want. And also, if they want to bring something over that really hits home with fans, they can because it's canon. They can do whatever they want with all of this and still make it count and make you have stakes with it with everything that's going on.
At this
and,
point,
and
they
I love
can.
that. And I've heard that Agent Carter's Captain Carter is going to be in like multiple episodes and is going to be in stuff moving forward.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. I think that's sick.
I think as far as what they mean as far as canon and the continuity staying the same, I think we're going to get I think we probably think, oh, canon, it's going to be every episode we see, we can't wait to see it again. But I think the only thing that's really going to keep it canon, that's going to keep us hooked, is the Watcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think the Watcher's the only thing that's going to make the whole this whole thing be.
He's going to be the
canon.
stitch that ties it all together.
Yeah, I think really the show is going to explain the multiverse to people who have never read any of the comics before or understood what the multiverse wars mean, and all that stuff, which I think is a super smart play on Marvel's part to make it an animated series as well. Because then all you have to do is you got the artists to come in and render and do great artwork, and then all you have to do is you don't have to get a camera on and then get an actor in and do all you have to do is record their voice, have them do
A lot of the
sides
original
and-
voice actors will be doing.
yeah,
you know,
I mean, you listen to the voices, you're like, oh my gosh, that's Michael B. Jordan. That's
Chadwick
and then-
Boseman.
that's
Also,
Chadwick
I was
Boseman.
gonna
That's
say,
RDJ. Like,
we get to this is like the last like thing that Chadwick Boseman ever did. And
Yeah.
that's super exciting.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see a performance, whether live action or voice acting from him. It's just going to be cool to have him be in a thing again.
I think too. I mean, one of the things, like, I mean, I don't really have an issue with it being animated. I thought it was just like it's something that is people are going to comment on. I think they're like, I'm watching cartoons now, the kind of thing. But it's like if you're watching the source material, we don't mind that. I mean, we talk about cartoons anyway. You guys watch a lot of anime and stuff like that. I'm not as into it as you guys are,
but even like Bad Batch, Clone Wars, we watch those.
we watch that stuff anyway. But I'm saying like the fan that's just watching MCU stuff might say like, I'm gonna go watch a cartoon. Like, I don't know. And I think that's the cool part about there being a multiversal type of factor to
Yep.
this is that you have that free reign to do whatever you want because it's
And-
animated.
And they kind of expand upon your point. There's been a lot of theories that Into the Spider-Verse was going to have a live action character in it. Like they were going to have, like around the time it came out, they were talking about maybe Tobey Maguire will be in it. Maybe we'll see a live action Tobey Maguire.
Interesting.
Or maybe even in the sequel, we'll see a live action. So crossing over and being like, hey, in this universe, this is what the universe looks like.
I think the
like a
post credit thing too, could
like a
be
Space
live
Jam kind
action.
of thing, mix of animated and like live action and stuff. Or they could just be like, hey, this is just the format we're presenting this to you in. But what I would say to try to say, if someone's going, it's animated isn't my kind of thing. It's 8 episodes?
9.
9. It's
Mm-hmm.
not that many episodes, and that's a lot of things that turn me off with animated shows sometimes. There's just hundreds of episodes, and I'm like, I'm not watching all these. I don't care.
That's how I'm watching. I'm waiting for Bad Batch to end. I'm just gonna watch it all at
You're
once.
going to have to watch
yeah,
30 episodes.
honestly, I watched the first 3 episodes. Like, I get it.
But for like something like this, like MCU,
Yeah.
the way I would sell you on it is, and I don't know, I have no stake in it. I don't care if this is great or not. I would like it to be great, but they have more freedom to do whatever they want. Like there's no restriction on budget. Like the budget doesn't get crazier because you want to throw more colors into a drawing. You know what I mean? It doesn't go up like that, or to have a bigger splash page or scene or whatever. They don't have as many restrictions with what they want to do. They can't be like, oh, we can't get this lot and we can't blow this lot up, or we can't get this car to flip this truck and have this guy jump through it. You just draw it. You can do whatever you want. well, we don't have the CGI budget for this show to blow a universe up. Well, you don't need it. You get to watch the universe blow up because it's being drawn or being
Right.
animated or whatever.
Right.
So they have much more freedom to do whatever they want to do because it is animated.
I think that's the cool thing too about this series is that there's gonna be moments because we don't know the order of the episodes and what every episode is going to be based on and how connected each episode is going to be to each other. There's going to be moments where we're like, I never thought of that.
Yep.
The kind of thing of them reinventing something. It was like this character in this type of role. You're like, I never thought that guy would be doing that or she would be doing that. That's kind of cool.
The most we've seen is Agent Carter
Uh-huh.
being like the Captain America, but except Agent Carter took it. Then we see Killmonger saving Tony Stark before he becomes Iron Man, which leads me to believe that maybe we see a Killmonger Iron Man.
Maybe.
There's that. And then we saw that if the Ravagers didn't pick up Peter Quill, they picked up T'Challa instead,
Yeah.
and what that looks like. So those are the three that I've only seen as far as the What If show. So I am totally... Oh, and then Zombie Cap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Marvel
and-
zombie type
Yeah.
thing.
Correct me if I'm wrong or help me remember. Isn't there someone in the Black Panther becomes Star-Lord thing instead of Black Panther? Isn't there a Black Panther in that scene? Like somebody else is the Black Panther?
I don't remember.
I seem to
They
remember
were showing
that.
so many
It's been a minute since
clips.
I watched it.
Or
So
they're-
anyone in the
Probably
chat that knows.
rewatch the trailer. Yeah, somebody put a comment in there so we can go back and watch the trailer again. Whatever. There's a lot in the trailer like packed in there that
Yep.
you're trying to like.
And it's
what are
like-
they doing?
If I'm correct, like I said, I could be wrong. Who is the Black Panther in that what
Right.
if? Is it Killmonger? Is it Shuri? Is it Ayo? Is it Okoye? Is it M'Baku or whomever? I think it would be super cool to see different versions of that kind of stuff and seeing where the universe would go if just one little thing was different.
What would you ultimately love to see in this show happen that carries into the MCU forever?
I gotta think
It's
about
tough
that
to say now.
one. Especially because like there's a lot of stuff I don't know. Like
Sure.
my answer could be one thing, and then I watch it and I go, oh, that's the thing I want to see carry over.
I'd like it if they made one of the episodes about Skrulls, and they show you that there was some key character that had been a Skrull all along, and it kind of advancing that story because now there's a fan theory that old Cap at the end of Endgame
Is
is
it Skrull?
a Skrull, or he's a Cap from a different timeline, and the original Cap is someplace else. So I mean, who knows?
I would like to see a character that we don't, that we haven't seen yet, maybe be born into this series, and then we get to see. We're like, oh, we're gonna get to see him in live action because he like steps through some kind of threshold, or the Watcher like plucks him out or something somehow. Because we talked about this when the first trailer came out. In comics especially, there's always a character like the Spectre or like the Watcher or someone who's like, or even Mobius with the Mobius chair. What's his name? I'm blanking. The God of Knowledge in DCU or DC comics. They're always like, oh, I don't intervene. Guess what? They always end up intervening. So I think
Even when they say they don't.
yeah, and I think we're gonna see the Watcher have some kind of something intervene in something in this and do something. He's a character I'd like to see come over to live action. That might be my answer right now. I want to see him in live action and get to see him do something. But my two picks for characters that I want to see in this, I have no idea how they're gonna show up, but I would like to see maybe a what if Adam Warlock got out of that cocoon before the Thanos thing happened, and
That'd be cool.
he's the reason they are able to defeat Thanos, maybe even before the first snap. Or to go with the Skrull thing, we get Super Skrull, or the beginning of Super Skrull. We have
That
this
could be
Skrull
cool.
who's got more abilities than other people, kind of super soldier-esque for Skrulls, and we kind of see him taking powers, and we go, oh, when this means the Fantastic Four is coming, and he's going to take all of their powers and have all of their abilities. And I think that would be super cool to have something like that introduced. And that's what I mean by like they don't have to have like cast people for the Fantastic Four or even anyone for Super Skrull. They could just draw Super Skrull and have him be there, and that gives you more options. And I would love to see a character like that show up.
I'm with you, Paul, as far as the Watcher thing. I think if we get a solid Watcher that could really carry over, I'd love to see some dialogue or something happen where he explains like, this Kang or he who remains told me that he had everything under control, but I watched and I knew that he didn't have everything under control, and now look where we're at. Something that effect. I would love to see the Watcher show up and later things as far as the cosmic universe and what we have in Marvel. And then I would love to see some adaptation because it's my favorite Marvel run ever. I'd love to see Original Sin. I would love to see
that'd be cool.
Who Shot the Watcher. I would love to see a mystery of like, we've learned to like love the Watcher. We've seen seasons, 1 through 4 of What If, and we've learned to love the Watcher, and then like he gets shot. Like, who shot the Watcher? Like, who did this? Like, and then we get a whole Original Sin thing. It would be cool. I think it's a little far fetched because I think a lot of
it's probably a way off.
It's
but I mean,
way
it
off,
can
but
still
yes, and it's a
be
little
something that could be
niche. But
adapted
something
and
like that would be really cool because, or even him talking trash about Kang the Conqueror. He said, "I used to watch everything until he conquered my job.
Right.
Like he conquered what I was supposed to do."
Yeah, he
Like,
was kind of doing that.
you know what I mean? So to see maybe like, no, this guy's bad. I've watched everything. I've watched every universe ever imaginable, and this guy has been a part of all of it, and he's bad news. Look out. I would love to see that happen in this show.
So something I didn't even think about. Do we get a little bit of Excelsior action? We get a little bit of animated Stan Lee just
we have to,
kicking
right?
it with the Watcher?
We could.
Because what does he do? Which movie is it? that
Guardians 2. That we
Guardians
see in
2.
the post.
He's kicking it with the Watchers or the
Yeah.
Watcher at the end, and I would like to see them.
He's telling them stories like they're
Yeah,
exchanging
and
stories.
maybe that's the what's it called? The
Post-credit?
what's it called? The catalyst for this.
Oh, that's
we're
the setup.
hearing the Watcher, like we're seeing what the stories that the Watcher is telling to Stan Lee.
We're
It's
gonna
like have you ever seen one of those episodes, like maybe like a Disney Channel show or like a Nickelodeon show or something, where it's like a campfire episode. Everyone sits around a campfire. Someone starts telling a story, and then that story starts to be shown. Like the episode of Rick and Morty where they're on the train,
right.
and it's like the vignettes and it jumps into the story. It's like, okay, the Watcher's like, all right, I'm going to tell you some stories, and that's why.
That'd be cool.
And in the trailers, it's made to seem like he's talking to the audience, but maybe he's talking to Stan Lee.
Very
and
possible.
maybe we don't even see that he's talking to Stan. Maybe we think he's talking to us the whole time, and
He's
at the
talking to
end of the
somebody
series, he's talking to Stan Lee
Or Doctor Strange.
or even Doctor Strange, and that's the catalyst for the series, and that's why we see all that stuff happening.
Yeah, this is gonna be. We're gonna know within the first 5-6 minutes where this is going when
Yeah.
we get like, imagine if you will, a universe in which everything is possible. Like we're gonna like go, oh, this is what we're in store for.
Yeah.
Great, or it's gonna be one of the other for me.
Real quickly, in honor of Sonny not being here, I wanted to go over some news, a little bit of headlines with you guys, and to get like some quick reactions. We're wrapping up here pretty quick. I'm gonna butcher the name. His name is Zolo Madueña. He plays Miguel in the Karate Kid Cobra Kai series on Netflix. He's been cast as Blue Beetle in HBO Max.
Oh, I saw
HBO
that,
Max's film. I think that's like a perfect casting. When they're mentioning the rumor of him being cast, I think it's a perfect casting. You can go to Disney World starting next year, and you can go with your family on the Star Wars Galactic Cruiser and spend 2 nights in a I don't know what you want to call it, an AI type of simulated space ride where you can have the thing predetermined for you for the low price of $6,000. You and couple of your family members. You
It's
guys
like that
get
part in
together.
Jurassic Park when he's explaining, like, yeah, we have a special coupon day and people can come in for $10,000. And then Dr. Grant goes, or not Dr. Grant, but he goes, no, I don't want this to be a park for just the super rich. I want it to be for everybody. That's what I feel about Disney sometimes when they come out with this kind of stuff. I'm like,
Yeah, what in
What?
the world?
Come
Well,
on,
they threw out
man.
the annual pass. They're doing something now.
Oh, cool. The pass that they
the
got
key
rid of that I
thing and
had.
the
Yeah.
four different levels.
unreal.
So
Ms.
crazy.
Marvel,
They
the
own
Ms.
us.
Marvel Plus series, Ms. Marvel has been delayed until 2022.
Oh, darn.
Kind of had a feeling with the scheduling of Hawkeye and them trying to put out the Book of Boba Fett before the end of the year. Kind of had that feeling that it was going to kind of get delayed because they're going to try to do more Plus related original content in relationship to giving Marvel and Star Wars their time. It probably just wasn't going to work schedule wise, but it'll probably be early 2022. But that might be the first series that we get for 2022 on Plus. I don't know how you guys feel about that. And the big thing that I wanted to mention to you guys real quick as we wrap up tonight, there's a rumor that the reason why we have not seen yet a No Way Home trailer for Spider-Man 3 is because there won't be one. And the movie is just
I have
going to
thoughts on
be
this.
the movie is just going to be released. They're not going to put a trailer out, and they're just trusting the fact that we've been freaking out about all the speculation about that. Would be like it'd be one of the coolest moves of any film company to just say, you know what, there is no trailer, just come watch it.
You know, I maybe I'm misremembering, but I feel as though there was a similar rumor going around when Endgame was going to come out. They were saying that, there's not going to be a trailer, and they're just going to let this go on its. And then there was a trailer.
Right, but it wasn't a true trailer. It was just clips of the old movies strung together with red.
Yeah, but it was still promotional stuff, and I think do you have any idea where this is coming from?
I think it's from Feige. He's leaking it out there that they don't want to put a trailer out because they don't want anybody
Never
to
trust the Emperor.
I have a really hard time believing that because it's kind of stupid business because not everyone is a huge fan, and I bet you if you ask my mom, she'd be like, "There's a new Spider-Man movie coming out. If you put a trailer out,
I
she'll
think
know
it's a
about
missed opportunity. If at least they just do a teaser trailer, they could do it a month out or 6 weeks out or something. That they're going to wait that long. I don't know why they would. I would assume, but I don't think this is legit either. I think we're going to get a Spider-Man No Way Home trailer with either Shang-Chi or Eternals.
Yeah.
It's going to happen so that we have something 6 weeks out.
It would be crazy.
2 months out.
It'd be crazy if they said that there's going to be no trailer for it. But I wouldn't be mad at it. I would not be mad.
It's just
at
I think it's
no
unlikely.
Trailer. Yeah, I think it's very likely there's going to be a trailer. But if they chose not to, I don't care.
Yeah,
I really don't care because that way we really go into this movie completely blind and our heads will probably and quite literally explode.
Yeah.
Once we see what we're going to see because of what we heard about Tom Holland saying this is the most ambitious comic book movie that has ever been made. Like I hang on that. Like that's legit because I loved Far From Home. I thought it was so great. I thought it was so creative and like another great epilogue for the phase 3 of the MCU. But man, they're going to show a trailer, but I don't think they're going to give us what we want. And we have Eric Voss and the boys at New Rockstars to thank for breaking down every single little thing that we see. So they're going to give us glimpses of Spider-Mans from previous movies, I think. Yeah. And they're going to give us maybe...
what if we just get...
Maybe 10 seconds of new footage for the movie.
So you know what would be a sick trailer? Is if it starts off as the MCU thing and we just get clips from Spider-Man 2000. Spider-Man 2002 or Spider-Man 2002, excuse me. And then we get clips from Amazing Spider-Man. We get clips from all the movies from the past. And then the title card comes up and says No Way Home. And that no new footage, but that confirms that all of these new Spider-Man are going to be all the old Spider-Man are going to be in it. But I still want to see a No Way Home trailer. You know what I think would be cool? A marketing thing that people haven't done since freaking the Phantom Menace came out with or not the Phantom Menace. Like there was a movie that the Phantom Menace trailer was attached to that did way better than it should have because the Phantom Menace. What if they don't release the No Way Home trailer on the internet? What if, hey, the No Way Home trailer is coming out and it's attached to Shang-Chi? You have to go see Shang-Chi if you want to see the No Way Home trailer. I think that would be sick. I think that would be a really cool and smart marketing because it means, well, if I'm not that interested in Shang-Chi, but I want to go see the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, so I'm going to go watch it and I get 2 for 1 kind of for what I want.
What movie came out that everyone went and saw and then left? It was Phantom Menace came out. The Phantom Menace trailer came out, but it was before a specific movie back in 1999
that's
that
what
people went to go
about.
see, and then they were like, peace out, I'm out of here.
Yep.
and the movie did well in the box office because of the trailer in general. Yeah, I don't know. Warner Brothers has done a good job with this as far as the Batman movies. They would play like the first 10 minutes of each Batman movie. Like if you went and saw Mission Impossible in IMAX, like those were all really well done. I don't think that Marvel will go that route.
But it would be cool.
I think they own the internet. They actually own the internet when they do these things.
It breaks.
And the views they get for it are unbelievable.
The views
Whatever they
people
decide
like us
to put
get,
out, it's going to get press.
I think
it's going to get attention.
We do like about 100 views an episode. When the Shang-Chi trailer came out while we were live, that episode's at like 400 views.
Yeah.
Our views tripled because Marvel put something out and we were talking about it.
So Kevin, for our show, for our livelihood. Please give us the trailer so that we can react to it. And
Thursday after 6 p.m. Pacific time would be super sick.
Or right on the money. That would be great.
Yeah, like 6:05.
Yeah.
But I do kind of like what me and Donovan were talking about. We got to wrap it up here soon. But if you're like, because there's a lot of stuff with the Suicide Squad stuff going on the internet with the Ayer cut. People are y'all gotta relax.
Yeah, calm down.
It's kind of embarrassing to be part of like this little fandom sometimes with all the superhero stuff because you guys act like, and I'm probably gonna make some people mad when I say this.
Do it, Paul.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, piss him off.
The movie, it doesn't matter.
Nope.
The Ayer cut doesn't matter.
Nope.
The Suicide Squad doesn't matter.
Nope.
If you wake up and you find your emotions dictated by whether there's a trailer or whether there's a certain cut of a movie coming out,
Don't matter.
you need to take a step back, look in the mirror, and go, what's wrong with me? What is
Go
happening
eat some
right now?
waffles.
Like, unless your job is putting that trailer out, and you're like, oh, I would make more money if Sony would let me cut this trailer.
And if it's your job, they're gonna give you the trailer before everybody else.
It's literally. So it's like you just need to relax and just like enjoy things, or don't.
Yeah.
Don't be a weirdo on the internet being hateful. That's very upsetting.
Paul's
to
looking
see.
right into camera.
in case you are upset, how can they get a hold of us, Paul? How can they contact us on all the social medias?
You can contact us on. Hold on, I'm gonna.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow! I don't know if I'm a fan of what Frank just did. Oh,
Wow. Good job.
that was
Beautiful.
not
Wow.
smooth at all, but I sure did
wow.
do it. So you can find us at Into the West Comics on Instagram,
It's a good
Into
looking
the
hat.
West Comics on YouTube, and Into_Comics on Twitter. We have merch for sale. We're working on getting a site set up. Probably going to try to
We
do
got-
that after this.
We got a hat for you, Teresa.
And yeah, if you want to buy a hat, $20. Buy a shirt, $15, and come support. And we
Yeah.
appreciate everyone in the chat, everyone who's always here all the time.
Thank you for taking the time to check us out tonight and staying around a little bit later for a later start.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
Well, we did it. Thanks,
we did
nerds.
it. Thank you, guys.